Now let us dive into one of the groundbreaking books that delves into the science of habits and how small changes can lead to remarkable results. Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones by James Clear. The central premise of the book is that tiny, incremental changes or atomic habits can lead to significant improvements over time. Clear presents a comprehensive framework for understanding how habits work, how they can be built, and how bad habits can be broken. Through practical strategies and real-life examples, Clear demonstrates how anyone can harness the power of atomic habits to transform their lives. Chapter 1: The Surprising Power of Atomic Habits. In the opening chapter, Clear introduces the concept of atomic habits, emphasizing the power of small, consistent changes. He argues that the key to achieving remarkable results is not to make massive changes, but to focus on making small improvements every day. Clear illustrates this with the example of the British cycling team, which transformed from mediocre performers to world champions by focusing on marginal gains in every aspect of their performance. Clear explains that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them. They seem to make little difference on any given day, yet the impact they deliver over the months and years can be enormous. This concept underscores the importance of consistency and patience in the habit-building process. Chapter 2: How Your Habits Shape Your Identity and Vice Versa. Clear introduces the idea that habits are not just about achieving external goals, but also about becoming the type of person you want to be. He explains the concept of identity-based habits, where the focus is on who you wish to become rather than what you want to achieve. This shift in focus from outcomes to identity can lead to more sustainable habit formation. Clear outlines the two-step process for changing your identity. Decide the type of person you want to be. This involves clarifying your desired identity and the characteristics of that identity. Prove it to yourself with small wins. Each small action you take is a vote for the type of person you want to become. By aligning your habits with your desired identity, you reinforce that identity with every action you take. For example, instead of focusing on the goal of reading a certain number of books, you focus on becoming a reader. Each time you read, you reinforce your identity as a reader. Chapter 3: How to Build Better Habits in 4 Simple Steps. Clear introduces the 4-step process that underlies all habits: cue, craving, response, and reward. This process is known as the habit loop. Cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. It is a bit of information that predicts a reward. The craving is the motivational force behind every habit. It is the desire to change your internal state. Response: the response is the actual habit you perform, which can take the form of a thought or an action. Reward: the reward is the end goal of every habit. It satisfies your craving and teaches you whether to repeat the behavior in the future. Clear explains that by understanding and manipulating these components, you can build new habits and break bad ones. He introduces the 4 laws of behavior change, which provide a simple set of rules for creating good habits and breaking bad ones. Make it obvious. Make it attractive. Make it easy. Make it satisfying. Chapter 4: The Man Who Didn't Look Right. In this chapter, Clear discusses the importance of awareness in habit formation. He shares the story of a woman who had an uncanny ability to detect early signs of Parkinson's disease in her patients by observing their subtle physical habits. This story illustrates the power of awareness and observation in understanding and changing habits. Clear introduces the concept of the habit scorecard, a simple exercise to become more aware of your current habits. By listing your daily habits and categorizing them as positive, negative, or neutral, you can gain a clearer understanding of your behavior patterns. This awareness is the first step towards making intentional changes. Chapter 5: The Best Way to Start a New Habit. Clear introduces the concept of implementation intentions and habit stacking as effective strategies for building new habits. Implementation intentions involve specifying the exact time and location where you will perform a habit. This strategy increases the likelihood of following through by creating a clear plan of action. For example, instead of saying, "I will exercise more," you set an intention like, "I will exercise for 30 minutes at 7 a.m. in my living room." Habit stacking involves linking a new habit to an existing one. This leverages the existing neural pathways in your brain, making it easier to establish the new habit. For example, if you already have a habit of drinking coffee every morning, you can stack a new habit onto it by saying, "After I drink my morning coffee, I will meditate for 5 minutes." Clear emphasizes the importance of starting small and gradually building on your habits. By focusing on tiny changes, you can avoid overwhelm and increase your chances of success. Chapter 6. Motivation is overrated. Environment often matters more. Clear argues that environment plays a crucial role in shaping our habits. He explains that our behavior is often a response to the cues in our environment, and by altering these cues, we can influence our behavior. He introduces the concept of environment design, which involves structuring your physical and social environments to make good habits easier and bad habits harder. For example, if you want to eat healthier, you can design your environment by placing healthy snacks at eye level and keeping junk food out of sight. Clear also discusses the importance of context in habit formation. He explains that certain environments can trigger specific behaviors, and by changing your context, you can change your habits. For instance, you might find it easier to focus on work in a dedicated office space rather than working from your bed. Chapter 7. The Secret to Self-Control. Clear challenges the traditional view of self-control as a finite resource. He argues that self-control is less about willpower and more about managing your environment and reducing exposure to temptation. He shares the example of how grocery stores place candy at checkout counters to exploit customers' impulses. By understanding how your environment influences your behavior, you can take proactive steps to design an environment that supports your goals. Clear emphasizes the importance of avoiding tempting situations altogether rather than relying on willpower to resist them. By reducing exposure to temptations, you can conserve your self-control and make it easier to maintain good habits. Chapter 8. How to make a habit irresistible. Clear introduces the concept of temptation bundling as a strategy for making habits more attractive. Temptation bundling involves pairing an action you want to do with an action you need to do. This leverages the brain's desire for instant gratification to create a positive association with the desired behavior. For example, if you enjoy watching Netflix but want to exercise more, you can create a rule that you can only watch Netflix while working out. This makes the habit of exercising more attractive by linking it with a rewarding activity. Clear also discusses the role of dopamine in habit formation. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter that plays a key role in the brain's reward system. By understanding how dopamine influences our behavior, we can design habits that are more enjoyable and engaging. Chapter 9. The Role of Family and Friends in Shaping Your Habits. Clear explores the impact of social norms and peer pressure on our habits. He explains that we are heavily influenced by the behaviors and expectations of those around us. By surrounding ourselves with people who exhibit the habits we want to adopt, we can increase our chances of success. He introduces the concept of social reinforcement, which involves using social connections to reinforce positive behaviors. For example, joining a fitness group or finding a workout buddy can provide social support and accountability, making it easier to stick to your exercise routine. Clear also discusses the importance of finding a community that aligns with your goals and values. By immersing yourself in a supportive environment, you can create a sense of belonging and motivation to maintain your habits. Chapter 10. How to Find and Fix the Causes of Your Bad Habits. Clear emphasizes the importance of understanding the underlying causes of bad habits in order to break them. He introduces the concept of the behavioral chain, which involves identifying the cues, cravings, responses, and rewards that drive your habits. By analyzing the components of your bad habits, you can identify the triggers and motivations behind them. Clear suggests asking questions like, what triggers this habit? What need or desire does this habit fulfill? What is the immediate reward for this habit? Once you understand the underlying causes, you can develop strategies to disrupt the habit loop and replace bad habits with healthier alternatives. Clear emphasizes the importance of focusing on the root causes rather than just the symptoms of bad habits. Chapter 11. Walk slowly, but never backward. Clear discusses the importance of consistency and persistence in habit formation. He introduces the concept of showing up, which involves making a commitment to perform a habit, no matter how small, every day. He shares the story of Jerry Seinfeld, who used a simple strategy to maintain his writing habit. He would mark an X on a calendar for every day he wrote jokes. The goal was to create a chain of X's and not break the chain. This strategy emphasizes the importance of consistency and the power of small, daily actions. Clear also discusses the role of patience in achieving long-term success. He explains that habits often have a delayed payoff, and it can take time to see the results of your efforts. By focusing on the process rather than the outcome, you can stay motivated and committed to your habits, even when progress seems slow. Chapter 12. The Law of Least Effort. Clear introduces the concept of the law of least effort, which states that people will naturally gravitate towards the option that requires the least amount of work. He explains that by making habits easier to perform, you can increase the likelihood of sticking to them. He discusses the importance of reducing friction in habit formation. This involves removing obstacles and making the desired behavior as convenient as possible. For example, if you want to practice guitar more often, you can reduce friction by keeping your guitar in a visible and easily accessible place. Clear also emphasizes the importance of designing habits that align with your natural inclinations and strengths. By understanding your preferences and leveraging them, you can create habits that feel more enjoyable and less effortful. Chapter 13. How to Stop Procrastinating by Using the 2-Minute Rule. Clear introduces the 2-minute rule, a simple strategy for overcoming procrastination and building new habits. The rule states that when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. This makes it easier to get started and reduces the barrier to entry. The idea behind the 2-minute rule is that once you start doing something, it becomes easier to continue. By focusing on small, manageable actions, you can build momentum and gradually progress towards more significant behaviors. Clear emphasizes the importance of starting small and scaling up gradually. By mastering the art of showing up and taking small steps, you can overcome inertia and build lasting habits. Chapter 14. How to Make Good Habits Inevitable and Bad Habits Impossible. Clear discusses the concept of a commitment device, a choice you make in the present that locks in better behavior in the future. Commitment devices can help you stick to your goals by making it harder to fall back into old habits. For example, if you want to save money, you can set up an automatic transfer to a savings account. By making the decision in advance, you reduce the temptation to spend money impulsively. Clear also introduces the idea of habit contracts, which involve creating a written agreement that outlines your commitment to a habit and the consequences for not following through. By involving a third party, such as a friend or a family member, you increase your accountability and motivation to stick to your habits. Chapter 15. The Cardinal Rule of Behavior Change. Clear emphasizes the importance of making habits satisfying in order to reinforce them. He explains that the brain is wired to seek immediate rewards, and by making habits enjoyable, you can increase the likelihood of repeating them. He discusses the concept of reinforcement, which involves providing yourself with positive feedback or rewards after completing a habit. This helps to create a positive association with the behavior and reinforces the habit loop. Clear also emphasizes the importance of tracking your progress and celebrating small wins. By acknowledging your achievements and rewarding yourself, you can maintain motivation and stay committed to your habits. Chapter 16. How to Stick with Good Habits Every Day. Clear introduces the concept of habit tracking as a powerful tool for maintaining consistency and staying accountable. Habit tracking involves recording your habits and measuring your progress over time. He discusses the benefits of habit tracking, including increased awareness, motivation, and satisfaction. By visually tracking your habits, you can create a sense of accomplishment and reinforce your commitment to your goals. Clear provides practical tips for effective habit tracking, such as using a habit tracker app, creating a habit journal, or using a simple calendar. He emphasizes the importance of finding a tracking method that works for you and staying consistent with it. Chapter 17: How an Accountability Partner Can Change Everything. Clear discusses the role of accountability in habit formation and introduces the concept of an accountability partner. An accountability partner is someone who supports and encourages you to stick to your habits and holds you accountable for your progress. He explains that having an accountability partner can provide social support, increase motivation, and enhance commitment. By sharing your goals and progress with someone else, you create a sense of responsibility and accountability. Clear provides practical tips for finding and working with an accountability partner, such as setting clear expectations, scheduling regular check-ins, and providing constructive feedback. He emphasizes the importance of mutual support and encouragement in the accountability relationship. Chapter 18: Advanced Tactics for Making Habits Stick. In the final chapter, Clear discusses advanced strategies for making habits stick and achieving long-term success. He introduces the concept of habit shaping, which involves breaking down complex habits into smaller, manageable steps and gradually progressing toward the desired behavior. Clear emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability in habit formation. He explains that life is unpredictable, and it's essential to be able to adjust your habits and goals as circumstances change. By maintaining a growth mindset and being willing to experiment and iterate, you can overcome setbacks and continue to make progress. He also discusses the importance of identity reinforcement in sustaining habits. By continuously aligning your habits with your desired identity and values, you can create a strong sense of purpose and motivation. Atomic Habits by James Clear provides a comprehensive and practical guide to understanding, building, and breaking habits. Through the lens of Atomic Habits, Clear demonstrates the power of small, incremental changes and the impact they can have on our lives. By focusing on the 4 laws of behavior change and implementing strategies such as environment design, habit stacking, and the 2-minute rule, anyone can transform their habits and achieve lasting success. Clear's emphasis on the importance of identity, consistency, and environment provides a holistic approach to habit formation. By understanding the underlying mechanisms of habits and leveraging practical strategies, readers can create a sustainable system for personal and professional growth. Atomic Habits is a must-read for anyone looking to make positive changes in their lives. It offers valuable insights and actionable advice that can help you build better habits, break bad ones, and ultimately, master the art of continuous improvement. Thanks for listening. If you find this valuable, give us a like and subscribe.